Come on. He done tweaked y'all shit or told somebody how to tweak y'all shit. So now that I had to pay homage to my homie who helped me so much and all the pre-production and stuff that I've done. And I mean, really, you know, he had always looked me in the eye and like, Slick, that shit's dumb. And you know, I respect that. Look me right in the face, lit, and say, you know, hey, time out, Slick. And you know, young cat, I always respect that. So let me get back in. I had to give that homage right here. So now let me go on and get into this. We got Miss Leah with us.
What's up, y'all?
Leah's in the house. So we're going to go get right into this. Mr. BarzMakes Bangers, sir. Can you tell me, sir, BarzMakes Bangers? My first question to you, been knowing you a long time, work with you. I ain't never asked you, sir, I know how the bars is. Do you rap? Or, I mean, I always want to ask you because I try to put you on 16, 17. So can you explain the bars? I know you make bangers. Explain that to me, man. Talk to me about that right quick. Where'd that name come from?
You asking what's the origin of my name?
Yes,
Bars?
Sir. Yes.
Okay. Well, Bars, it really started with J Bars. My first name is Jabari. And you know, when I was a kid, I mean, my mom, you know, people in my family would call me Bari or Bars. And then, you know, when I was around 14, 15, 16, me and a group of my friends, we all had this rap group, and the name that was given to me was J Bars, just early on, from Jabari to J Bars.
Okay.
Got you.
And then that was a title that was given to me. You feel me? Just Bars, Bari, J Bars. You know what I'm saying? So that evolved into just straight up Bars. You know, and then from Bars, you know, when I got into the production game, you know, people started to realize Bars makes bangers. You feel me? So that's kind of how that just all evolved.
That's bananas, because we do know that bars make bangers. This is a fact. If you don't know, you will know. Because after this right here, you just go look, listen, and you will find out. I got one more question before I pass it to Leah, because you know me and you worked and then got hit at some Hennessy a couple of times. We kind of go back. I am recording for show. Now I see record light. Ladies and gentlemen, I had to put my hat on because today I have one of them dope producers that I'm going to instantly just show the music respect to and put on the hat. Y'all probably see me if I was on the show rocking. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for BarzMakes Bangers. Put your hands together, one of the dopest producers, tweak your shit, whatever, man. You know how it is. You know how it is. Put your hands together for bangers. What's up with Bars today, homie? What's up? Talk to me, man. What you doing today on lockdown?
Just glad to be here, man.
I'm glad, man. What you been doing with yourself on this lockdown, player? What you been doing? Making music? What you been doing?
Oh yeah, man. I've been making music. I've been getting to it, man. I'm in the process of opening up my own studio. I've been getting around. I'm working with, right now I'm at R Block Studios in East Oakland.
Right.
I'm working with my guy Con B.
Right.
And yeah, man, just, you know, being active, still playing my part in the community.
That's what you're supposed to do, players. All right, now we're going to jump right on into this because a lot of people got a lot of behind stuff, and I want to make sure people know this thing. The first thing I'm asking you, hey, that origin of your name, Bars, I get the banger part because you didn't help me like for years, the banger part. I get that. So the Bars, tell me the origin of that. Bars, I kind of know. Tell me about that.
Say that one more time. You cut out.
The origin of your name, Bars.
You said the origin.
Yeah, the origin of your name.
The origin of my name? You know, my official name, the name I was given at birth, it was Jabari. And growing up, you know, everybody would always call me Bari, Bars, J Bars. And when I was in high school, me and my friends, we kind of had like a little rap clique. And my name in the group was J Bars. That's just the name that they had gave me. It was kind of like a takeoff Jabari, J Bars. You know what I'm saying? Right, so from J Bars, you know, after, you know, towards the end of high school, you know, people started doing other things. The rap dream started to kind of fade, but I was always very passionate about music. So I just dropped the J Bars and just was going as Bars. you know, experimenting with production and everything like that. And once I started kind of getting locked in into the production, you know, people started to realize BarzMakes Bangers, and that was kind of the name that I remember I had made a beat for one of my boys, and he was just like, "Ooh, BarzMakes Bangers," and he had said it on the track, and I was like, "Yup, that's the name I'm going with, BarzMakes Bangers." That was like around 2010, 2011, man. So been rocking with that for about a decade now.
That's good shit, K Plus. That man, I was sitting there like, wow, I've known you for a while. I tried to get you on a few tracks. But I mean, once you dive into the making the music, I mean, from where you are now, man. I mean, tell me, how'd you get influenced to that part? Once you said the rap game going, I'm gonna make the music, man. How did you get influenced in that?
Man, where it really came at that time, man. Whereas, you know, I was shit. You know, you out the house, you living on your own. You know, paying to go to the studio. All that shit was getting expensive growing up. You know, we was going to studios when we was in high school. I always, you know, I had a square job growing up. I had a McDonald's job. I worked different jobs. I was always getting money somehow. I had friends that was getting money, but everybody didn't have money.
Right.
So sometimes we'd have to spot one of the friends. And it was an expensive thing at the time, you know. Right. But one thing I always remembered is that pursue this and, you know, be paying to be in the studios, paying for the beats. I was just thinking like, damn, how could I be in this and still make it make sense for me? You know, now that, you know, I'm on my own and, you know, I didn't have my own spot, but I was paying for a room or whatever. And, you know, so I was like, I'm gonna learn how to engineer and make beats and stuff like that. So that was probably around 2008. I was 2008. I was about 20 years old. And that's when I started to make that transition. I realized, you know, that's the direction that I want to go in. And from there, it's been nonstop.
Nonstop. I got one more layer, then you can have them. I said, hey, man, who you think came through there? And, you know, you get complacent, you be like, man, I got this. Who you think came through there that kind of just sprinkled something on you to be like, ooh, I got to give you some inspiration. You got to go to that next level because you can. Who gave you that? Who would you shout out right now?
Man, well, first of all, man, I got to shout out So Fucking Tight, man, because them niggas always kept me on my toes.
That was not planned. But
you know, other than that, man, everybody that I work with is a learning experience because every artist is different. Every artist has a story and a message. And, you know, with this music, you know, it's deeply personal. And I think that's why I've been able to afford the loyal clientele that I have because when it comes to being personal, when it comes to being personal with the artist and giving them my all and going above and beyond for my clients, I really do try to do that. You know, it's a lot of people that take this game as just, you know, this is my breadwinner. You know, everything has a cost, and that is something to take into account. But
that's right.
I fell in love with the music before this was my breadwinner, you know what I'm saying? So that I put that before, and I really connect with people on that level. Like, this is something I love, this is something you love. Let's make something that we love out of this and be proud of. And I try to do that just in the session. Like, it ain't even like, I don't even try to make it a drawn out process. Like, oh yeah, now you got to come back for the mix. Now you got to, I'm like, let's take these hours. If you only book 2 hours, let's try and make these 2 hours count and do everything we could do to just make something we love. Because I may not ever see you again. You may not be in the studio with me again. But I want to put my stamp on it.
That's deep right there. Yeah, I like that. It's crazy how, you know, life makes you make decisions. So with that, I was just thinking about that when you said, you know, how you started making beats. So with that being said, when you start making beats, what's the first element that you put into it? Like, what's the first sound? Is it different every time, or do you start with drums all the time, or, you know, how do you start doing your beats?
With production, it's definitely a feeling. Honestly, I used to always start with the drums, but now where I'm at musically, I tend to start with like a bass line or like even like a melody. I'm kind of getting more into like, you know, melodies and you know, I feel like it's the, you know, I don't know, maybe it's me just coming of age and, you know, being more into different sounds instead of just, you know, because growing up I was just into that, bah, 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 bah. You know, I was,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
hyphy, everything hyphy, so you just want to move, but now it's like I kind of gravitate towards, because I feel like the melody gives you the feeling. You know what I'm saying? You can have a sad melody, you can have a happy melody, and it could be all on the same beat, but the melody kind of dictates where the feeling is gonna go. So
Okay. So are you still rapping too, or are you more concentrating on production now, making the beats?
well, you know, my focus, my bread and butter is production and engineering. But, you know, don't be surprised if you see me step out, you know, for the 20, you feel me, and you know, break out of my shell, because in this day and age it's all about you know, it's all about being out there. You know, I mean, I feel like engineers and producers, it's really time for us to promote ourselves like artists, because the type of industry that we in, you know, it's, you gotta be visible, you gotta be a brand, you know, and the best way to do that is by having a voice, you know, and if you're behind the scenes and you're not engaging and you're just, you know, stuck in your bubble, then you can't really grow. So, you know, I'm all
Right.
about, you know, stepping out there and doing whatever the fuck I feel, because I'm an artist too.
That's
There
right.
you go. There you go. I have a question. If you had to pick an era of music of which you would more feel you would connect with, or that your music belong, what era would it be?
You said what era? What era do
Uh
I
huh.
connect?
Yeah.
Um,
Like, do
I
you
ain't gonna
think you
lie,
would
probably
belong in
like
the
the '90s and the
'90s?
early
Okay.
2000s.
Now, I mean, to be honest, as far as the rap game go, I think that's by far the best. Like
Even though
the
that may
legends
be.
that you had right behind you. Oh my goodness, that was the time, the '90s.
Right.
You
So
said what?
I said, like the legends that you had right behind you. That was the time. The '90s was the best music. So that's a great era to be a part of.
Man, like that's you know, that's the era, that's the age where I became aware of what was going on in reality. You feel me? So it's like that had such an impression on me, you know, from the mid to late '90s to the 2000s. That's when, you know, my mind was really soaking everything up.
Right,
Um,
right.
Eras, it's other eras that I was influenced by. I mean, because, you know, I grew up around older people that was playing older stuff like 80s and, you know, even before that, you know, jazz and all that. But
Okay.
the era that I, you know, that I really connect with is like, that's the era that I came up in, that I, you know, define me.
Right,
I
Right,
right.
right,
gotta,
right,
you know,
right.
I think it's the best. I'm not gonna lie. It's stuff that's coming out now that I fuck with.
Yep.
But
A little bit.
Yeah, yeah, a
yeah,
little
it's stuff
bit.
right now that I
Yeah, a
fuck
little
with.
bit. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Well,
But it's
that's good.
now when
If
it's
you
different because it don't have the same impression from when you know, when
Yeah.
when you coming up, everything is just so fresh and innovative. Now I'm like the OG, where I see how they took from something, and it's like everything just seems like it's, you know, oh, I didn't seen that before, I didn't heard that, like it sounds similar, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not, ain't nothing just like wow.
Wow. Yeah.
right, okay, that's what I'm saying. I got another question in. If you can make your own university of music, what would the name be?
Mm.
Uh,
Damn.
Bars Academy.
Bars Academy?
Bars Academy, because, you know, the definition of bars, you know, in the
Mm-hmm.
sense that we use it in the, you know, in the areas that I'm in, you know, when somebody says, oh, you got bars, that's to possess a skilled trait or talent that comes close to perfection. You know what I'm saying? So, and everything
Okay.
I do, you know, is about mastery. You feel me? Like when I'm working with, you know, an artist, you know, I take my craft very serious. You know, this music is very serious. It's personal to a lot of people. You know, it changes lives. It helps people. It's
Absolutely.
hand in hand. So if I were to start a university, it would be the Bars Academy. You know, not just around music, but around just mastering yourself and learning how to become the master. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's dope. That's dope. So, what would Music 101 be in your university? What is a central class that everybody should have to take?
Music 101. Shit. I mean, the first thing you need to learn about, we probably just gonna go over rhythm. I feel like anybody who wants to get into music, the key to that is rhythm first and foremost off top.
I think that's very extremely important. So yes, definitely, definitely. So, Ronnie,
Yeah, but I know we got this young man who's worked with some very influential people. Some people I know that's highly talented, and I just said your name one day. He was like, "Oh, that dude dope." Two people I want to talk to you about, man. I used to work with my cousin LJ Holloman before. You've been in the studio with him and working with some very dope people that you got a Grammy for. Won't you tell me how you even got into that, bro? How you even get to that thing, man? What happened with that? Speak on that.
Ooh. Man, that's that was a long time coming, man. It really happened through certain. Okay, basically to make a long story short, I had a friend / client. We were working on a project, and he had a studio in downtown Oakland by Jack London in the same building that Fantastic Negrito had a studio in. And when we would be on breaks from doing our sessions, he'd be outside smoking a cigarette with Fantastic Negrito's manager. And, they would end up chopping it up, and his manager asked him, "Hey, do you know any engineers?" And he recommended me. So that's how I got the interview. From the interview, me and Negrito built a chemistry or whatever, and he told me he wanted me to come back and, check me out and see what I could do, see if we matched. From there, I ended up, working with him and, to even just paint the picture of what I was getting myself into at the time. His whole setup, he was kind of like, at the time, he was just getting back to doing music from a long hiatus. He had been in a very serious car accident in the late 90s. He had a deal with Interscope that was, I guess his deal was ended after the accident because one of his arms was paralyzed. He was in a really fucked up position to the point where he gave up on music. And in about late, like 2014, he had decided to come back and do his thing. And that's when he hired me. 2015, he ended up winning this NPR competition called Tiny Desk, which is it's kind of popular in certain circles. And from there, that's where he started gaining traction on his movement. But like I said, I mean, there was really no Grammys in sight. I don't think getting a Grammy was his I don't think he intended to get a Grammy. Not that we weren't, ain't nobody not trying to get a Grammy, but right. He was just trying to put music out. But he used to street perform in San Francisco, and when he was at one of the bar stations, he met somebody. He had to come into contact with somebody from the Recording Academy, which the Recording Academy and the Grammys are one under the same umbrella. So he got that person's card, and he didn't really think nothing of it. It took us about 1.5 years to finish the last days of Oakland when we were getting it mixed. The mixing engineer, whose name is Matt Weingar, happened to know the same guy that Negrito had met when street performing, and they ended up striking a conversation during the mixing portion of the album. And he was asking him what he was working on. He told him he was working with this cat named Fantastic Negrito. And he was like, "Oh shit, I seen dude at Embarcadero bar station street performing. He's dope." And he was like, "You know what? When you done mixing that album, shoot that my way." He didn't tell him that he was gonna submit it, but I don't know if he even knew he was gonna submit it until he heard it. But he heard the album. He liked it, and he submitted it. And when he submitted it, it got nominated. And that's when he had to tell them, like, hey, look, I submitted that album and it got nominated for a Grammy. So you guys should come down to LA.
Wow.
And man, the rest is history, man. They won, you know,
Wow.
and that was the first one that we won was in 2016 was when they won, but in 2017 is when they honor you. You know, the Grammys is after, you know, the year. So 2017 was the year that we, you know, got our awards. And man, it was a hell of a ride, man. You know, being a part of that process. When I got on, it was just me and him. I was the lead engineer. I was really kind of going through a lot in my life. I had just had my son, and I was just going through a lot of changes, man. Like honestly, a lot of those sessions, man, I would pull up the night before and sleep in my car, and then just wake up the next day and walk up in there. You feel me? You know, but we had a really good chemistry, man. You know, he's an OG, man. So it's a lot that, you know, we would talk about, and you know, he's just a really down to earth brother, man. And I think that's one of the reasons that kind of set him apart in the category that we won. I think his story is a story that had to be told. Yeah, he's just very talented, man. I mean, you know, you've been to Tune Studios. His studio looked nothing like that. It was just a laptop. He would have his guitar. He had a mic, and we made magic, man. You know, that's what it, you know.
That's what's up.
That's what it was.
Man, that's a dope story. I didn't even know, man. And
well, yeah, man. Hello, world. My name's BarzMakes Bangers. You can find me online, everywhere online at Barz, BARZ, Makes Bangers, MAKES BANGERS. You can also check out my website, BarzBarz.io, on the World Wide Web. And yeah, man, just look me up everywhere. BarzMakes Bangers. Pushing a hard line right now. You know, this year started off a little bit rocky, man, but it's a lot of more positive things to come, you know, for me and from a lot of the people that I'm working with, and just, you know, from all of us. I think this is a time for growth and regrouping, man, and I'm just happy to be here through it all. I appreciate the interview, man. Tom, you know, working with you has always been a pleasure.
Thank you, brother.
And yeah, man, I look forward to continue building.
Yeah, man. What I'm gonna do, man, you know me, if somebody needs some dope stuff, I'll be like, man, you need a mix, you need to holler at Barz. That's what I always say. So I'll keep shooting the stuff to you, brother. Hey, thank you very much for being safe, Leah.
Yeah.
Questions, Barz, thank you. We got over it, man. This is Monday. Y'all tune in. Find Barz everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Slick, who is that over there?
Hello.
That's Leah Taylor.
And who's on the bottom right there? The producer with us, what gave us that wonderful story.
That's Barz.
Can you hear me, Barz? Close us out, man. 1 minute left, Barz.
Yeah, would you say that again?
Close us out, man. 1 minute.
Say that one more time, Tom. What'd you say?
That's all right, man. Close us out, man. You got a couple seconds. Close us out. Close us out. You got a couple seconds.
Hey, look. You tuned in to the greatest, man. So fucking tight. BarzMakes Bangers. My girl Leah. You know how we do, man. We come to you with the top of the line shit every time.
Yeah. It might go off. Peace. Check him out. Check us out. Holla. All right, Barz. Thank you, man. It was dope as fuck. All right, bro. Peace.